Today I'm going to walk through a demo on how Construct Falcon Agent is able to detect a fileless attack, or also known as a malware-free attack, like for example leaving off the land, by leveraging on a trusted app such as PowerShell or Command Prompt to perform some commands on the compromised endpoint without the victim knowledge. And I'm going to demo it using next-gen CyberLab, which is built on AWS platform. With CyberLab, I can easily spin up several VMs to show a demo or even a POC in an isolated environment to simulate how adversaries perform malware-free attack, and at the same time to show you how Construct Falcon Agent is able to detect all the adversaries' movement and block any malicious processes or streams of events running on the compromised endpoint. In my lab here, I have a Windows 10 VM with the Falcon Agent installed using detection mode policy to act as a victim, and I have a Kali Linux over here to act as an attacker. In my Kali Linux, I have initiated all these commands earlier on, and with all these commands, I can start the exploitation. Back on my victim VM, when the user accidentally open up this win-update.exe file, it creates a connection back to the Kali Linux without the victim knowledge. As you can see here, nothing happened on the victim VM, but however, back to my Kali Linux VM, a new connection has been established from my victim VM to my Kali Linux VM. From here on, the adversaries can start to perform their recognitions, privilege escalations, defensive evasions, and even keep the connection by doing some persistence tactics and techniques. For example, the adversary used this PowerShell command to download and install a malicious application called Mimikatz from the external website and launching it to steal password. The adversary can even create a new username without the victim knowledge to ensure they have a backdoor access to this victim endpoint in case the current connection has been disconnected. Back on the Falcon console page, Falcon Agent is able to tell you for a particular process. For example, this PowerShell.exe that the adversary used, what are the objectives for this particular event, what are the tactics and techniques based on the MITRE attack framework, and a brief description of it. Falcon Agent is also able to show you the exact command that the adversary made. For example, here is the exact command line that the attacker or that the adversary used for downloading this malicious application Mimikatz from the website GitHub to steal credentials which can be used to sell in the dark web, or using stolen credentials to perform further lateral movement. But luckily, one of my policy is to block any process that is trying to delete backups, and with that, it will block that particular process and disconnect the connection from my Kali Linux to my victim, which is shown by this small green shield with a white tick here. Even though the adversary deletes the victim endpoint Windows system and security logs, which is also shown on this particular event, Falcon Agent detects and provides every single steps that the adversary made. This process tree is very useful in order to understand what the adversaries did step by step, and with such detailed information for every step the adversary made, with the same console page, you can contain this compromised endpoint to prevent any lateral movement for the adversary to gain a foothold onto any other critical server or the company's AD. You can also perform a surgical remediations to undo what they have added or what they have made the changes to the victim endpoint. With single lightweight Falcon Agent, you can detect investigate, and remediate any malicious activities that is running silently on your endpoint.